Hi, I'm Mal, and this is Miniature Warriors. Today's game sees us pushing on with the final game in our Antietam series. It's the 9th Corps assault on the Burnside Bridge on the southern part of the field, and I have two players to play the game. I have Colonel Perrot's brigade, Union Brigade assaulting, and Brigadier Heath's brigade defending. Anyway, I hope you enjoy.
It is mid-morning and 9th Corps has been ordered to take the bridge across the lower Antietam Creek. Brigadier Brooke, who command the 4th Division of the Corps, leads with Colonel Parrott's brigade, who has orders to drive the rebels back from the ridge overlooking the stone bridge. On the western side of the creek, Brigadier Heath's brigade has been ordered to hold the bridge until more Confederate troops can come up. The scene is set for a desperate struggle. As we come upon the field, we are looking northwest across the Antietam Creek. The 47th Virginia, of Heath's brigade can be seen on the high ground and amongst the timber on the slope. In the far distance, astride the Sharpsburg Road, the 17th Virginia Cavalry Battalion lies encamped. At just after 9 a.m., Colonel Perrott of Brooke's division sends forward the 2nd Indiana Infantry at the double. As the 2nd deploys into line, the 1st Vermont Volunteers cross the creek and C Battery deploys. Colonel Albert Parker, commanding the 47th Virginia, finding that he had deployed too far up the slope to be able to put effective fire onto the approaches to the bridge, now maneuvered his regiment forward. An exchange of musketry heralded the beginning of the desperate struggle that would follow. Alerted by the distant musketry from the bridge, the 17th Virginia Cavalry forms and moves forward to support the hard-pressed 47th's left flank. Braving the hail of fire being poured into it by the 47th Virginia, the 2nd Indiana surges forward. The 2nd Vermont completes its advance across the bridge and swings to its right. In response, Brigadier Heath orders the rebel cavalry forward, who at the trot, move forward between the timberline slopes to their right and the Sharpsburg Road. As they crest the slight rise, Perrott's battery, Battery C, 2nd U.S. Artillery, opens fire. And the 1st Vermont forms supportive line as Perrott's 3rd Regiment, the 4th West Virginian, comes across the bridge. As the Yankees advance on the Sharpsburg Road, the 17th Virginia Cavalry dismounts and forms a hasty firing line and await the Yankee advance. Whilst this is occurring, Perrott's last infantry regiment, the 3rd Indiana Volunteers, cross the bridge and move to the brigade's left, extending the Federal line. As the Federal numbers swelled on the western bank of Antietam Creek, the 47th Virginia retired up the ridge, trading volleys with the Yankees as they went. With his left flank being reinforced, and no sign of rebel reinforcements, Colonel Perrott steadies his brigade. The order goes forward to his 2 center regiments, and with a loud hurrah the Federal line sweeps forward. After a short and sharp engagement, the 47th Virginia are driven backwards through the trees by the Yankee overwhelming numbers, the Virginians only rallying once reaching the relative safety of the reverse of the slope. And as the 47th retires, the 17th Virginia Cavalry is also driven backwards, the Yankee infantry hammering the dismounted troopers. With the Federals in control of the eastern slopes of the ridge, a firefight between the two opposing skirmish lines now erupted. The report of rifled muskets reverberated under the tree canopy, as lingering smoke hung under the trees. At this point, Heath's long-awaited reinforcements start to arrive on the field. The 40th Virginia, who had been encamped in the rear, have finally made the field. With these troops moving onto the right flank of the brigade, Brigadier Heath pushes the 47th forward to the crest of the ridge. The resultant close-range musketry rips through both sides' leading regiments. With the 3 regiments of the rebels effectively pinned, Colonel Perrott continues to push the 3rd Indiana Volunteers to the left, and as soon as they clear the bridge, he orders the 2nd New Jersey Cavalry over and onto the western bank. They immediately swing onto the Sharpsburg Road, and, at the canter, spur their horses for the northern end of the Union line. With the 47th Virginia back in control of the crest of the ridge, more rebel reinforcements arrive. The 55th Virginia deploys to the left, occupying the ground between the hard-pressed cavalry troopers of the 17th and the 40th Virginia. With rebel numbers on the field swelling, Colonel Perrott seizes the moment and sends his center regiments up the ridge to clear the rebels to his front. A desperate charge sees the 2nd Indiana smash into the 47th Virginia and a vicious contest for the high ground erupts. Unable to stop the Yankee regiment's momentum, the 47th Virginia once again had to give ground. Heath's brigade, having deployed on the edge of the timber, attempted to stem the Yankee advance with massed musketry. Thick smoke choked the woods as the outnumbered Confederates slowly lost the uneven fight. With Yankee cavalry maneuvering down the Sharpsburg Road and the high ground above the Burnside Bridge over Antietam Creek lost, orders were received to withdraw, leaving the Yankees in control of the field. Colonel Perrott's brigade sustained most of its casualties in his lead regiments. The 1st Vermont taking almost 45% killed and wounded. The brigade, post-battle, was reinforced by the 23rd Indiana Volunteers and Battery D, 2nd U.S. Artillery. Colonel Perrott was not promoted. Brigadier Heath's brigade was roughly handled with the Virginian regiments absorbing most of the brigade's losses. Post-battle, General Lee has attached the 45th Virginia in an attempt to keep the brigade functional. Captain Wilson's Virginia Battery was also sent to bolster the brigade. Brigadier Heath was not promoted.
A Union victory, the Confederates pushed back, and the battle over. An interesting game, forcing a crossing across the Burnside Bridge. Anyway, that finishes our 3-game series of the Battle of Antietam. I hope you enjoyed them, and I'll see you again soon.
Said sit down just where you please. She crossed my legs and took her ease. It's good to go down on the knees, says Rose of Alabama. The river rolled and crickets sing. The lightning bug he flashed his wing. Like a rope my arms I fling round.